The Earth is made up of many different ecosystems, from the icy tundras to the hot, dry deserts to the coral reefs under the sea. An ecosystem is a biological community of interacting organisms and their physical environment. Ecosystems are made up of two types of factors, abiotic factors and biotic factors. Abiotic factors are non-living. Examples of this include the soil, water, sunlight, temperature, and weather, like snow and rain. Biotic factors include anything that is living, like the grass, trees, insects, birds, and animals. Let's look at what your ecosystem is made of. Your ecosystem includes the sun, soil, grass, plants, your house, the squirrels and birds that live in the trees, the worms that live in the yard, rain, and many other factors. Our relationship with our environment is the reason humans are still evolving. The fundamentals of evolution begin with our genes. So what are genes? No, not those genes, these genes. Genes help determine physical traits, like eye color, skin color, or even whether you have curly or straight hair. These traits have been passed on to you by your parents, so when someone says that you look like your mom, that means that she passed on her traits, or her genes, onto you. Genes are found on little stringy structures called chromosomes. Chromosomes are made up of lots and lots of genes. They come in pairs and they are found in every cell that makes up your body. Chromosomes are found in the nucleus of the cell, which is like the brain of the cell. The nucleus tells the cell what to do, and it uses the chromosomes as directions to do that, kind of like a chef following a recipe. Each gene acts as a specific instruction to make proteins. Proteins are what make up your body, your teeth, your hair, your nose, and everything else that make you, you. They help control how your cells grow and function in order to make you complete. Different genes will make different proteins, so there are genes that are important for your hair, your teeth, your ears, and every other part of your body. Mutations allow species to evolve, and they allow for variation. Functions and products of genes, our recipes, can be changed because they're mutated. Mutations mean that the gene has changed its recipe. Instead of always making a chocolate chip cookie, the recipe may make an oatmeal raisin cookie. Mutations can be good, or they can be bad. Mutations may even make no noticeable difference at all. When your mutations make no difference, it's like using chocolate chunks instead of chocolate chips. The cookie still tastes and looks the same. When your mutations are good, it's like putting extra chocolate into your cookie recipe. These mutations are more desirable, and they will help you to survive and live a long, happy life. When your mutations are bad, it's like putting broccoli into your cookie instead of chocolate. These mutations can hurt you, or they can make your life a little harder. Mutations are why humans can look and live so differently. The environment that you live in can change this recipe of your genes, that is, by causing mutations in your DNA. The environment can mean living in the mountains or near the beach, living in the city or the country, or living somewhere hot or cold. Where you live and grow affects how your body looks and functions. Sometimes nature can be harsh to live in. Nature will select only the fittest individuals who are best at living in a rough environment, so those with good mutations will go on to pass them on to their children and make their genes more common in the population. Over lots and lots of years, mutations can occur that make it easier for animals to live in their environment. Think about how some butterflies have spots to hide them from predators, how fish have fins to help them swim, or how dogs that come from snowy climates have lots of thick fur. Humans have also experienced some of these mutations that help us live better in our environment. This is why people don't all look exactly the same. Some people's ancestors are from places with lots of sunlight, like parts of Africa with lots of desert. Other people have ancestors from places with almost no sunlight, like Northern Europe or parts of Asia. It is thought that way back, thousands of years ago, the human species originated in Africa. There was a lot of sunlight there, so these people developed dark skin to resist getting burned. When people started moving out of Africa to places like Europe and Asia, and eventually across the world, some ended up in places with much less sunlight. When your skin is exposed to the sun, it can be bad and cause you to burn. However, if you don't get enough sunlight, you might not be able to make vitamin D, which is important to grow healthy bones. When people moved to places that weren't sunny, they didn't have to worry about getting burned, but they did need to make vitamin D. This pressure caused these people's skin to become lighter over time, as mutations collected that stopped their skin from producing dark pigments. These mutations help people adapt to their environments all over the world. People who stayed in sunny places kept their darker skin to help them be more healthy, and people who moved away developed lighter skin to keep them healthy. This is why people whose ancestors are from different places in the world have different skin colors. This is an interesting type of mutation to study because it's easy to see the differences between individuals. However, not all mutations change the way we look. In fact, there are some that are not visible at all. Do you like ice cream? What about chocolate milk or cheese pizza? Did you know that without certain genetic mutations, you might not be able to eat these foods? All of these foods contain lactose, a sugar found in dairy products. Some people aren't able to digest these foods without getting a stomachache. Those who are able to digest dairy products are lactose tolerant. Way back, thousands of years ago, our ancestors did not drink and eat dairy products from cows. Back then, farms did not exist, so people did not consume dairy products as adults. But when the first farms were created, about 10,000 years ago, adults began to consume dairy products. This change in our ancestors' environment had an effect on our genes. Most people who consumed dairy products became very sick, but some were able to eat them without getting sick. Why did some people get sick while others did not? People who did not get sick from consuming dairy products had a mutation in their genes that allowed them to drink milk. The lactase enzyme allows babies to digest milk, but by the time a mammal has reached adulthood, this enzyme is not normally being made by the body anymore. In adults with this mutation, the lactase enzyme is still being made and their bodies are able to break down lactose. In the group of adults who did not get sick from drinking milk, there was a mutation in their genes that allowed them to keep their lactase enzymes throughout their whole lives. The ability to digest lactose allowed people to have more food, which helped them to live longer lives and be able to pass this trait onto their children. Over time, this mutation became more common until almost everyone was able to drink milk without getting sick. Mutations like these can help us better adapt to where we live. Having a different skin color or being able to digest milk products is a way for humans, like us, to be happier and healthier in our environments.